Hello, 55 plus. I hope that you're doing well today. We are coming to you today with a devotional thought from the organizing committee of our group. Today, I'd like to take you back to the book of Mark, as I have in the last number of weeks, to Mark chapter 3, verses 4 to 6. And you might remember that last time we were together, this from Mark chapter 3, we see Jesus responding to the religious, the cynics, the people who would destroy him. And just before this passage, which I'll read in a moment, he asks a man with a shriveled hand to stand up in front of everyone in the temple. Then Jesus asked them, "Which is lawful on the Sabbath, to do good or to do evil, to save life or to kill?" But they remained silent. He looked around at them in anger and deeply distressed at their stubborn hearts, said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." He stretched it out, and his hand was completely restored. Then the Pharisees went out and began to plot with the Herodians how they might kill Jesus. There are a couple of important points in this passage that I want to encourage you with today. Particularly, the first one is from verse 5. He looked around them in anger and deeply distressed at their stubborn hearts. Last time we were together, I talked about cynicism. Today, I'd like to point out to you that in this case, Jesus is distressed by an unteachable, stubborn heart. In this day and age, it is important for us to recognize that there are some things that are eternal. And one of the things that Christ asks for willingly is that our hearts will be teachable, that we're willing to learn, that we're willing to say, no, my faith is needing refreshment on a daily basis. My heart is willing to hear the words of instruction and encouragement that Christ brings. If we think that we have made it in our faith, that's a certain symbol that we certainly have not made it in our faith. One of the signs of a healthy faith is that my heart is not stubborn. Now, human nature will often predetermine that I am stubborn and unteachable. And that's when I need to pray, God, give me a heart that is teachable and willing to hear from you. The second thing I want to point out to you from this passage is that once Jesus says to the man, "Stretch out your hand," he stretched it out and his hand was completely restored. Then the Pharisees went out and began to plot. You see, in this case, we have a man who is healed on the Sabbath. So Jesus didn't break the rules. It's lawful to do good things on the Sabbath. But people who were concerned with power and authority and control said, "Oh no, you can't do that." Not because he did something bad, but because he did something good. And they somehow sensed that their power, their control, their life of privilege was threatened. Jesus' presence and Jesus healing this man was a threat to these individuals. It is important for us to recognize that in our welcoming of Christ and being teachable, that we will often seek out, that we need to often seek out his work in our lives so that we might be changed inwardly. See, these people, the Pharisees, the Herodians, they were only concerned with power. They were only concerned with how they saw the world. They could not risk that this young fellow would come along and upset their apple cart. This Jesus this biblical Jesus did something good and brought a healing to a man, he is still in the business of healing us. And I pray today that our hearts would be teachable and that we would still be seeking not our power in life, but his power through our lives. God bless you. I look forward to seeing you soon.